Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Paul Doolittle in Derry, New Hampshire, and I'm here to talk about composting and a passion of mine. Here you have a oh, by the way, it's September 10th or 11th.
Okay, what year?
2014.
Okay.
Here we have a large compost heap, and I've been passionate about composting my whole life as I learned about the life cycle. And my compost pile here is feeding an organic garden. When I was invited to go to China on an agricultural tour, and we were looking at a 4,000-year-old system of agriculture and wondering how could they be growing food on the same land for 4,000 years. It's a very simple answer. They use human waste, human manure. And I wanted to say, we're doing this here. Okay, organic farmers are doing our big old piles and doing it. But there's still a taboo against human waste, and I'd like to talk to you about that. So come with me for a minute.
Okay.
This is Sun Point Farm, and this is the chicken coop. I've lived here for about 40 years mostly, and no running water and wood heat, and upstairs I have a composting toilet that I'd like to introduce you to, my inside modern one.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. We'll be right behind you.
Welcome to the private toilet. This is a composting toilet, and it has the wonderful features of having no running water and being completely sanitary and not smelling bad, and putting the waste right back into the food stream, right back into the life cycle. So come on in, I'll show you how it works.
Okay.
It's pretty simple. Here you have a bucket, doesn't even smell, and you do your thing in here. You can pee or poop, all right? And when you finish, okay, see this will identify it. Your friends will come over and they'll know it's a toilet. And then you take, after you do what you're going to do, you take some organic matter, preferably rotted leaves or anything that would break down easily, and you completely cover whatever you just did, just like a cat, just like a dog. And it doesn't smell, and it's stabilized, and you can keep it in the bucket until it's delivered to the next stage in the process. So let's go there now.
You're on.
Okay, welcome. This is the business end of the operation, and it's quite simple. You come over here and with a shovel or whatever you got, such as a post, I get in there and I dig a spot where I want to put the bucket of human manure. And this is piles that are already in work. I create a place that's deep enough and loose, and I put the contents of the bucket in there. And just like with the toilet, we put the material in there, and then we take the hay from around it, or I have a whole barrel of hay right there by your left hand, and I cover it so no flies can get to it, but so that the water can drain down through and can keep it moist. I also have handy a bucket of water that I can water it if it's really dry, because that composting process likes to have good water and good air. When that's done, I take and I cover it with organic matter, with this hay or anything that's available, rotting leaves, and that's it. You leave this for a year. Now, after that year, you can take what's in here out, and it will have been digested by heat-loving bacteria, and then when it cools off, and that's when the nitrogen and carbon ratio creates the heat, when that cools off, the cold bacteria take over. And by the end of the year, it has done a complete digestion of everything that would contain E. coli, barrier, the bad guys that make people so afraid of human waste.
So what other countries did you say this was done in, Paul?
Well, it's never stopped being done in China. When I was in China, I saw municipal scales of this, and I saw local scales where they were generating methane gas for heating with. It's at all different scale. They put into those tanks, they put human waste, they put animal waste, they put vegetable waste. Anything that will break down. And there's two kinds of composting. One is the anaerobic and the other is the aerobic. The anaerobic, without oxygen, you create methane. With this one, with plenty of oxygen and with moisture and the right mixture of ingredients, you have an aerobic system. This is simpler. You're not building containers. You're not taking off the gas. But this is extremely simple, extremely safe. The only time you're actually handling anything is the tool that you're doing the stirring with, okay, and covering with. And you can take that and stick it into the ground, or you can wash it off, whatever. I mean, each person has to take responsibility for what you touch and not having it be in contact with the human waste.
And where are we doing this? What's the name of this place?
Sun Point Farm, Dairy, New Hampshire. And where is it done? In most parts of the world, and not with this kind of sophistication necessarily. This is something, if you get the Humanure Handbook, look that one up, and it's funny, it's educational. He's the guy that taught all me just through that book, and I know hundreds of people that are doing this all over the country, quite responsibly.
Okay. Paul Doolittle, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to chat with you about this shit.